but she also knew it was a passion that she herself did not understand. Elena could not argue. Margot could usually read her too well, at least when it came to uncomfortable things like self-protecting lies. Perhaps because she was 4 years older. And, of course, Margot knew about Aidan Strother. Not all of it. Nobody but Elena knew that, although no doubt others had guessed. Elena had started out after university in a high position in the Foreign Office, due not only to her excellent academic record, but in large part to her father's position over the years as British ambassador in several of the most important cities in Europe, Berlin, Paris, and Madrid in particular. Elena had fallen in love with Aidan while working for him. It had been easy to do. He was charming, handsome in a wry, good-humoured way, and clever, very clever. He fooled them all utterly, even Elena. She was too in love to accept the signs, which in hindsight she now saw quite clearly. He had betrayed them all, and she had been stupid enough to help him, albeit unwittingly. Looking back, she burned with shame at her own stupidity. The only good thing was that nobody thought her guilty of complicity, only of being young and incredibly naive. All the same, she had been asked to leave, to the acute shame and embarrassment of her father, Charles. He had felt that of his 2 daughters, she was the one to follow in his footsteps, perhaps rise as high as a woman could in the Foreign Office. Eleanor's brief enchantment with Aidan was still an obstacle between her and her father. She was guilty of gross stupidity, and had not denied it. It still hurt when anyone chose to mention it, not out of longing for a love lost, or even an illusion of it, but because she had been stupid and had let everyone down, especially herself. Charles had never quite understood his elder daughter, Margot, though he had always adored and admired her. Everyone felt the consuming grief that had smothered her life when her husband of 1 week had been killed in the last month of the war. Now, alone in the square below, Margot had stopped dancing and was beginning to walk slowly up the steps toward Elena and the young man, every now and again lost to sight by a bend in the walls or an over-exuberant bower of coloured bracts. "Don't tell me she's an economist." The young man spoke again, amusement still in his voice, but quieter, as if he were aware of her momentary emotional absence. 15 years after the war, everyone still had their griefs, loss of someone, something, a hope or an innocence, if not more, and fear of the future. It was in the air, in the music, the humour, even the exquisite, now fading light. "Certainly not." Elena kept the lift in her voice with an effort. "And please don't ask me if I am." "I wouldn't dream of it." He held out his hand. "Ian Newton, economic journalist, sometimes." She took it. It was strong and warm, holding hers firmly. "Elena Standish, photographer, sometimes." "How do you do?" he replied, and then let go of her hand. "And that is my sister, Margot Driscoll," Elena said. "Not Standish. She's here with her husband?" "Margot is a widow. Her husband, Paul, was killed in the war." Ian Newton nodded. Of course. This was a situation encountered every day, even now. He looked over to Margot, destined to dance alone in a world populated by superfluous women.